So now, what's your target, bro?
My target is still a million to 2 million.
Yo, my people, it is your boy Trist. I'm back with another episode of the Brand Therapy Podcast where we discuss brands, businesses, and experiences in a therapeutic fashion. This is episode 13. Thank you to everyone who has stayed liking, sharing, and subscribed. In the last few episodes, we have had a large amount of subscribers increase. We've had a really good episode with Flomzy, which is now actually the top on the channel. And we've just had good feedback all in all. So if you've been following my journey, you would know that probably around the back end of last year, I got into the crypto space and sort of entered that industry, especially in regards to content. In the last few months, last few weeks, I've been having a lot of conversations in the space, whether on ClubHouse, Instagram Live, or on my YouTube channel. Had a good conversation with Flomzy. Make sure you check that one out. Good conversation with Alan as well, just in regards to cryptocurrency. And I had a live, which is kind of quote unquote infamous in the culture now, where we basically brought together Flomzy and Torre to one platform, and they basically were discussing, is BTC sustainable? Quite a heated conversation. There's a lot on the internet that sort of was bantered around it. Really good episode, so make sure you check that out on the channel as well. However, in the process, a few of the team that I'm a part of, which is the Trading Network, which is a WhatsApp group that we have, which Flomzy has started, really good WhatsApp group. Interactive, we pretty much 24 hours of the day, because people from all over the world in it. And while we was having a conversation, the group started coming into the clubhouse, and one of the brothers who came in was a guy by the name of Gabriel. Now, if you follow my page, you would have seen that I spoke about Gabriel after that conversation. I also posted him up on our channel, Grow Daily. Reason being, Gabriel's story is quite an interesting one. At the age of 19, he's now 20 years old. At the age of 19, he had basically gone from £5,000 put into the cryptocurrency market. In the space of about 10 months, he had turned that into 250K. Now, this was probably about 3-4 weeks ago now, maybe a bit longer. As that's been going on, a lot of hype's been surrounding his name. A lot of people are asking him questions non-stop. His Snapchat is just crazy, his Instagram's crazy. Just because people obviously want to learn, and Gabriel's someone who definitely helps people do that. It was only right, once we had connected, that I said, look, bro, I need to get you on this channel, need to have a conversation, don't care if I'm halfway across the world, we need to make it happen. So we're making it happen at the moment. He's live on Zoom at the moment, we're recording via Zoom as well as the YouTube. Brother, how are you doing, my bro?
I'm good, bro. Thanks. How are you?
No, I'm good, my brother. First and foremost, thank you very much for coming on my platform. I know you're highly demanded right now, my brother, man. I know they be trying to get a hold of you, man. Nah, how you feeling, man? How's it going, bro?
Nah, everything's good. Thank God. Everything's well.
Alhamdulillah, bro. Alhamdulillah. So, all right, cool. First and foremost, like, I think just for me to sort of make it clear, like, multiple reasons that we had connected definitely wasn't just due to the fact that you had an interesting story. Like, the way that we had spoke, we had a very natural conversation. We probably was on the phone for like probably about an hour. And obviously you said that you had been in a few of the Grow Daily webinars, and you had like kind of followed the journey of people around me and whatnot. And you was just obviously just a young, humble brother who was just on the internet, like not even really posting much, just kind of taking in stuff. But from your point of view, before we got to this whole Gabriel 250K and young Gabriel and all of this stuff, like what was going on before, bro? Because you're 20 years old now, yeah?
Yeah, 20.
What was going on before? Like take us. I say take us back. It was literally just a few months ago. So yeah, take us back to a few months ago.
Yeah, so firstly, when I was younger, I was playing football, and that was the dream that I was chasing. Then I went on a couple of trials here and there, but it didn't work out. So then I started falling out. Like, I lost the passion for football, essentially. I got introduced to social media marketing. So I did that for a while, and that was after I stopped football. And then because of COVID, basically, that kind of got shut down. I was doing that for about a year and a half. So I made not too much, but a decent amount. Not anything like I'm doing now.
So when you say social media marketing, in what sense? Are you working for a company?
No, as in I was trying to build up my own agency.
Okay.
For like Facebook ads for other companies and stuff like that. because of that, I had a bit of capital. So then when COVID hit, basically that business went left. So then I then went to one of my friend's houses. His brother just brought up like stocks and stuff like that. So then I looked into the stocks and stuff like that, and then I just kind of did a bit of research, and then I tested the waters a bit. I put some money into it, but I didn't feel like I still felt like I didn't really know what I was doing. One day I was just on YouTube, then like I saw a cryptocurrency video come up, and then from there, that's how I just got into crypto. And then a recommended video about Chainlink came up, and then started doing deep research into Chainlink. And then yeah, from there I just literally went all in after I did all my research on Chainlink. And then yeah, that was how I started in crypto, to be honest.
Because was there an interest into finance in any way, shape, or form before that?
No, like to be honest, I wasn't really the type of person that like was all about money per se. Like I more so wanted, like when I was playing football, I was doing that like for a passion, and then I started like realizing a bit like when I was getting like 16, 17, 18, like I need to start making some as well.
Yeah.
But before I mentioned about the social media marketing, I did have a job at the same time. So I was working in a factory, in a seafood factory. So that was kind of paying me a bit as well. So I was saving up money from that. So then, yeah, after that, then like for crypto, when the opportunity came, that was more so for money. But now it's more so for the technology and money. I just kind of like I was just thinking, looking at my future, saying, well, I need to do something that pays me because I can't just continue chasing the dream. And what if it doesn't end up working out? Like I know people,
Yeah.
say, but there's people who have made it at 27, 28. But like realistically, like who wants to be waiting till 27, 28 to make it, you know? Like
Yeah, no, fact. No, 100%. So was you born in Ireland, yeah?
no, in the Netherlands.
Oh, okay, so he's born in the Netherlands and then
Yeah,
you moved to Ireland.
yeah, when I was 4.
Alright, cool. So you've jumped in crypto now, you've gone online, you've gone on the internet, and it's so crazy because it proper sounds just like, you know, like them adverts where it's like sitting there on the sofa and you see an advert pop up like, do you know what Chainlink is? Like that literally sounds like that's what happened to you. Yeah.
Yeah.
So boom, so you've seen the Chainlink video, boom, boom, and you've looked into it further. What was your first trade? Like what when did you first jump in?
So okay, so when I just found out about the crypto space, I started dabbling like with different coins like XRP and stuff like that. But that was only on Revolut, so that wasn't really crypto in my opinion. I was just like playing around, and then the video came up as a recommended video. Then I started watching that, and then I started looking through the guy's page. His name is Crazy for Cryptos. He's a very good, like all his calls have done really, really well. So after that, I watched basically all his Chainlink videos. Because the thing about the headline, it was really like an enticing headline. It was like, can Chainlink really go to $1,000? So that was what the headline was. So then I checked that, and then after that, I started watching videos like religiously, and then yeah, like I went, like I already had a Twitter account, so that was just my personal one. So then I went on the Twitter account and started like researching. I started putting like or reaching out to people who are invested in Chainlink as well, asking them questions on Twitter, and then yeah, after that I just got all the money I could and put everything in.
So literally your first trade was all into Link.
Yeah, like my first serious one, yeah.
Okay, so when you say serious one, was there ones before that didn't go well or?
Yeah, like as I said, like I was just dabbling in like XRP and stuff like that.
Oh, okay, got you,
And
got
that
you. So
was
you
just,
went. So was Link literally was that 5K all in Link?
yeah, 5K all in Link, yeah.
All right, cool. So you've gone into Chainlink now, and within the process of that, you've pretty much become like quite obsessed. So was you watching the market every day? How quick did you start to understand DeFi and the space as well?
To be honest, because I wasn't so experienced at the time, it wasn't a situation where I was watching the market every day, you know? Like I was
Yeah.
like it was just like I was more chilled then than I am now, to be honest. Because it wasn't really like the market had just crashed as well. So
Yeah.
when people, all these questions that people, all the questions I was asking people, and the answers that they were giving me was like making me read bullish on Chainlink and stuff like that. So I didn't really feel the need to check the market every day. But
Got
I
you.
check it quite often. And then like Chainlink is stuck right now. I think it's at like $26 and it's not moving up much. People are saying, oh, it's not moving. But literally that time when I just invested, it was Chainlink, it was like $3 or something like that. And it was the same situation now. Like it took Chainlink ages to break $5. Like it was like a party in the Link community when it broke $5. So like sometimes in this game you need to be patient. Like I made my 4x from Chainlink, but I waited like 3 months before I made a 4x from Chainlink. So
Got you. So at that stage, you were just holding on to Link, and then what? You ended up with 20K from 5.
Yeah.
Okay, got you. So you're holding into Link. What was it that? Because you just mentioned something that I think is so important, and these are more so the things I want to highlight in this conversation, bro. Yeah, because I think with you, people often they don't see the right thing. Like they just see the result, but they don't understand like your patience as a person, your research that's put in. Like even just the vibe, like how you come across, like you're not, for someone who's 20 years old and is basically creeping on 1 million this year, you're very, very relaxed. Do you get what I mean? Like you have a very calm aura about you. Whereas a lot of people in your position will be like, yo, like yeah, Trist, I want to film, like slap me on the screen, like promo, like bro, like it's lit, like jump in, like your name would be Crypto Millionaire and all of this kind of stuff, yeah. But with you don't like straight away. Something I noticed when we first spoke is like you have a very humble aura about yourself. Now, you just mentioned patience. Like, let's talk about the keys to you getting to 5 to 20K before anything. Obviously, there was patience. Was there any testing times? Like, was there anything that made you think, whoa, let me pull out, let me this, or did you hear about any other coins that were shooting and anything like that in the time where you thought to maybe jump ship?
No, because see, the thing is, because of how the people that I was asking questions were portraying Link to me, I was like, nah, Link was literally like a religion for me. Like, because I didn't care about any other token. I didn't care about like nothing else. Like it was only Link. So even when I saw the price going up, and you know, funnily enough, because I used to, anytime Link went up like $1, I would always post it on my story on Snapchat and be like, oh, I'll be like, oh, look how much I'm going up. I'll be telling people to buy Link. And then eventually, like I told my dad to buy Link, I told my uncles to buy Link, I told my aunties, I told friends.
Did they listen?
Some listened, some didn't. Like my mom didn't listen. But now that she sees the money that I'm making in crypto, she's finally bought in like I think a month now. So she's doing quite well now. But like,
is it? Does she follow your calls or does she do her own thing?
I basically do it for her. But like,
Sick. She just funds it. Sick. So alright, so at that stage now, cause bro, like at 20, yeah, I'll give you a bit of a lowdown about me, yeah. At 20 years old, I just been kicked out of my mum's house, yeah, because I dropped out of uni. I was studying sound engineering. I dropped out of uni, and late in my 20 middle of the year, going into 21, a good friend of mine introduced me to investment broking, and when I entered that world, I saw like a whole nother world. At 20 years old, I met my first millionaire. He's 27. He's driving a Lambo. I met loads of millionaires. I stepped into an office in Old Street. It's just full of successful people. My mind was blown. Like I came from the hood, bro. Like I'm from the Southeast London, Lewisham Borough, and I'm working in the city. I'm putting on a suit. I was amazed. Yeah, like head gone. And I was similar in the sense of I was never focused on money really. I was just focused on building brand. And ironically, you going into social media, setting up an agency. I was setting up a PR agency at the time. Same age, same kind of stage as well, yeah. And then boom, jumped into that industry. Very, very different and nowhere near as impressive now with the way times are. But I made my first 100K for the year at 20 years old, yeah. Now I actually made 93K. Now, at that time, I was gone. Like in my head, bro, like nothing could stop me. Like I wanted everything. I wanted this, I wanted that, I wanted this, I wanted that. But no one my age group was really thinking like me. Did you find, or do you find, because it's still now, that when you went into crypto and you started putting it on your Snap, like what was that like amongst your peers and people you went to school with and stuff like this? Like what? Because I saw you post about your peers, I think, yeah, maybe even today actually, yeah. Like,
Yeah.
What are they on? Like, is everyone in? Because I'm 29, but I don't know. A 20-year-old's all in crypto now. Like, what's going on?
So basically, in my situation, like literally when I did crypto, nobody was doing crypto. Like when I got it. So over these last couple of months, everyone wants to get in crypto now because they see how well I'm doing. I think a lot of people used to see like my stories and just pass an eye or something like that. Maybe they thought, oh, the money's fake, this and that. But actually, when they actually got into the markets and they saw how well I was doing, then they're like, oh no, it's actually real money, it's a real market. Of course it is. Like, so then so many people have been coming to me asking questions and stuff like that. Like, and the reason I post those things is just to show like you don't doubt someone or don't put someone down or something. Or don't like just talk down on them because they're trying to do something. Like I literally tried to put on so much people into crypto and then they just didn't even like listen to me and stuff like that. And now they're like, oh, I wish I listened back then, blah, blah, blah. But it's like, if they had listened back then when I told them to get in, they would have been a lot richer than what they are now.
How do you feel about that? Like, honestly, how do you feel about that?
To be honest, I don't really care. Like, I don't care because at the end of the day, if someone is trying to put you onto an opportunity and you're not listening, it's your loss. Like, it's not going to affect me because I'm making my money now, you know? Like, they could have been in the same place, but they just want to be negative and ignorant. So, yeah, it's not really much I can do. Like, I was posting almost every day. The same way I'm posting now. I was posting.
You're posting then.
Nobody was listening. So it's like it's only like the last 3-4 months that I've been getting messages. People are saying, oh, bro, this and that. And it's like, nah, like, what's the point? The market is a lot higher now anyway.
So how many followers you got on Snapchat now?
My Snap used to be like only like 200 people or something like that. Now I've got close to 700 people on Snap. So it's crazy, man.
And so and the same. So before you obviously started stepping into the public space, you was just literally quite a low key person, really. No one knew you like that. You wasn't like bait online or anything like that.
Yeah, exactly. Like a lot of people who even like didn't know me are all coming to me now and stuff like that, and like asking this and that and the other. Like so many like just people like just even from around Dublin, like who maybe didn't like rate me or anything like that, or like even trying to come to me and stuff like that. But like, see, the thing is, I don't forget anything. I remember everything from the past. So it's like if someone was acted to me in a weird way, and then now they're trying to act all nice, I remember that. So like, I just portray the same way, the way they used to portray to me, you know.
I got you. So you're at that stage now where it's like, ha, and that's all I'm gonna say. It's almost like, ha. Like there's like a big LOL now for you on these motherfuckers. Like, let's keep it 100. So alright, cool. So that's 20K. Boom. 20K to 250K. How did we get there? What was the process?
Okay, so I think one day I was just on Twitter and then everyone was just talking about like, I don't know how they phrased it, but everyone was just talking about Uniswap. Like they just said, oh, this is like a degenerate trading website or something. I was like, what is everyone talking about? Then I just asked one of the guys who like I spoke about Link to like a couple of months back. So then he told me, oh, it's Uniswap, this and that. It's where all the new tokens are listed, blah, blah, blah. So then I came across Uniswap and I was like, wow, like the returns there that I was getting like were crazy. Yeah, like literally from there. And also because a lot of people are complaining about gas fees now. The thing is, gas fees then were so cheap. Like I was paying probably like €3-4 per transaction. So it was very, very cheap. Like it's not like the one that we're facing now.
So just to touch on Uniswap, because some people might not be aware at all. Just explain Uniswap for those who are sort of new to the space.
So Uniswap is basically just a decentralized exchange. It's just basically like Binance, but there's no centralized like holder. Like it's just decentralized. Like, there's not one person that owns it. Like there's people that develop it, but they don't own it. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Uniswap, I sort of see as where you're gonna get the coins for the low. Like that's where you're gonna get the ones that are. And I didn't really pay much attention to Uniswap when I first entered, until, to be fair, like you and the rest of the group, and I started to realize to really, like, obviously you can always make gains off of anything if you pick the right coin, but to make those gains straight out the gate, I feel like Uniswap is where it's at, especially at the moment. And I feel like when a coin's at Uniswap, if it's not on like your Binance and your cryptos and your Krakens or whatever else it may be, Coinbase, sorry, then usually you're gonna make gains just between it getting from Uniswap to the main platforms.
Yeah, definitely. Because like, see, the thing is with Uniswap, you don't need to like if you're trying to get listed on Binance, you need to pay 2 BTC, which is like 100K plus. On Uniswap, any project can list. Like they just need to add liquidity, and that liquidity can come from like the seed sales that they do, like where the venture funds invest, and then they give them the tokens obviously, and then the venture funds give them the money, but like that money is used for liquidity and development, etc. So then like the developers work on the code, and then they can just deploy the contract, add the liquidity that they got from the seed rounds, and then that's pretty much it. Like, because all these centralized exchanges, they need to pay for them to get listed on them. So that's why most of them just come to Uniswap now, because it's free.
Yeah.
So you was on Uniswap, then go on. So you started hearing about Uniswap, and what was it that you went for?
So like back then, it was really just what anyone said on Twitter. Like people used to recommend new projects. A lot of the Twitter pages that I'm following now, they used to recommend projects and stuff like that. And then I started joining some Telegram groups. I started making some connections in the space. And then, from there, like, I think the first DeFi project I entered was Acro. So Acro did like a 4X for me. I think I put in probably like 5K or something. So that brought me to 20 as well. So I was already sitting at like 40 at a time. From there, like, it just literally blossomed. Like, there's so many tokens that I've dabbled in and out of, and it's so hard to remember, but I know there's been some good tokens that did well for me. So, they've really helped me to get where I am now. Yeah.
So when you've gone to that now, and let's fast track to you, because at the moment, just to confirm, the day that we're filming this is 27th of March. And what are you currently standing at in your portfolio?
Let me just have a quick look.
So that there's no cap. See, guys, Gabriel doesn't like to cap. He likes to make sure that it's accurate. Yeah, he don't want to leave no room for any cap, so no one can pull him out, draw him out. That's why he's got the archives. He's got the throwbacks. He's got all the old snaps. Just so motherfuckers know. Go on,
bro. So it's sitting at about 356K right now.
Cool. So when you obviously, like, it's not a day, it doesn't just happen like boom, but at the same time you probably would have got maybe a couple like 5x's, 10x's, and then it's gone bam bam bam. When you've hit a point of 250K now, like, obviously from my perspective, and don't get me wrong, from humble beginnings, but we have to also be real. Like, £250,000 to someone who doesn't have any form of money is a lot of money. It is a lot of money to anyone. Let me never ever try and make it seem like it's not. But at the same time, when you start to get money and get in that financial space, you also start to realize that it can go like that. However, you're 20. You're 20 years old. You've just jumped into this space. Within a year, less than a year, you've hit 250K. What's going through your head, bro? Like, be honest, bro. Like, what's going through your head at this time? Like,
honestly, it doesn't faze me, because the thing is, like, you don't really, I don't know, like, when you're trading on crypto, for me personally, when I'm trading in crypto or Uniswap, the money doesn't really feel real until it's actually in my bank account, you know? So it's like I see all these digits, and the thing is, like, you might get gas for like a day or two, but then once you sleep on it for like a week, you just get used to it, you know? And it's like, just now, like, and then you just want to get more. But like, even as I said, like, when you're trading on Uniswap, it just feels like a game, really. Like, you don't feel like just say you're putting in 10K into a token. It doesn't feel like you're putting 10K into a token, but if you have that 10K in cash, you're gonna be like, oh wow, this is 10K.
Yeah. No, it's true. It's true. The digital aspect definitely feels like a game. Sometimes it's just like Monopoly, like topping up your account and like withdrawing your account. Like, even just now, bro, when I just asked you about Binance, bro, the reason I asked that, I've never withdrawn, bro. Like, do you get what I mean? That was the first time I even withdrew. So I definitely agree. It does feel like a bit of a game when you're in it, man.
Definitely.
So on the way up now, there's obviously, because I'm very aware that people are like, you can't breathe online, bro. Like, it's probably gonna get worse even after this conversation, bro. Like, I'm sorry in advance, bro, because it's probably gonna get 10 times worse now, yeah? But
Yeah.
A few of the questions that people always want to know, like I'm gonna obviously try and just summarize so that they can kind of just have this interview to refer to and not just like hit up your DMs all the time, because you are definitely gonna get to a point where you're like, I can't do this no more for this social shit. Yeah, like trust me, I get it even just for mindset. So you must be getting the madness. Yeah, when you're in the process, like, what's your strategy? What would you say your strategy is to summarize it?
Like right now, currently.
Yeah, well, no, let's go back because now might be a bit too deep for many people. So, when you were coming up, when you got to the first milestone, what was your strategy to get there?
So my strategy was more so just looking for Uniswap, like gems per se, mostly on Twitter, and then I was basically investing in them. But see, the thing is as well, there's a variable that has changed. I'm not gonna lie. So basically, let's say from the time of July till about September, like Uniswap went crazy. Like it was harder to not make money than to make money. Like like literally gems were going like 5x in like 2 days, or like 6x in like 10 days, or something, like 10x in 10 days, like crazy stuff, man. So there's like there was a period where, like, for example, a token would come out and it'd be like a top, like, like Yearn Finance, for example. Yearn Finance came out, and then that was like the real one. And then like you'd have like clones, like there'd be like YFL or YFII, like all these clones would come out and they'd still do like 10x as well, So it's like what people, yeah, I swear to God, like what people used to do was they'd buy the original one. So like, let's say they buy YFI, they'd buy YFI, make their 5x or 10x or 20x, whatever, and then they move on to the next clone, and then make like another 5x, move on to the next clone and make like another 5x. So that was the way we played it back then. Yeah.
So, in the process of that, were you taking profits or was you just holding?
Yeah, taking profits, because like a lot of those tokens are not that they're not around, but they don't really have much value in them anymore. Like they were just like tokens like that you played around, like unless it's a serious project you'd hold, but I didn't hold any of them.
And how did you know when to take the profits? Did you do you set targets? Like, how does it work for you?
No, I don't really I don't really like to set targets, because if that target never comes, then you're stuck, So it's more so like sometimes what you can do is, once you've made 100% return, like a 2x, you take out what you've put in initially and then you leave the rest to ride. Or if you just get a 3x, let's say you put in 5k, you get a 3x and you returned at 15k, you should be more than happy with that, because then you just compound. Then you can put that into, like, as I said, there's projects coming out almost every day. Take that 15k out, put it into another project, and then come out with like 45 or something like that, and just keep playing.
Yeah, no, 100%. So in regards to like the way you've gone about trading now, obviously you're like obsessed with it basically. Like as far as I see it, that's all you do. Like it's just the screen and pizzas. Like that's what it looks like. Yeah. How are you balancing uni, bro? Like what do you study?
Computer science.
So that's interesting. Would you say that's kind of helped you within crypto? Because it's obviously quite tech based.
Yeah. It does help, because like maybe if you're talking to developers, you can actually like learn from them. And also like one of my targets probably in the next bull run is also to develop my own crypto. So that's a plan of mine. Yeah.
What's made you say, it's interesting that you said in the next bull run, like a lot of people would be trying to do that now. Again, it goes back to your patience, which you can always kind of see in your character. What's made you say then, why not now?
Firstly, like my focus right now is just to keep like making more money. I don't really want to like bring other stuff into the picture, because I'm still young. So the next bull run, I'll probably be like 24, 25. So I'll still be really young. So it's not really like a rush type of situation. If that makes sense.
You talk about this next bull run a lot on your socials as well. Like, do you have a feeling when it's coming? Like, do you feel like we're going to be out of this bull run soon? Like, what's your prediction?
It's just more so the sentiment on Twitter. Like, I'm not a person that does technical analysis, but I do invest a lot of my time into watching people who do study or who are good at technical analysis. So I've asked like some people in our groups, when they think their opinion, and then also YouTubers, and just different opinions from different people. So from that, I've just kind of rounded up my own analogy and just come up with that, really, to be honest.
Yeah. So you see, because I'm not gonna lie, when I first came into the space quite early on, I remember when I asked you and I said like, bro, I'm learning charts at the moment, like, and you said, look, bro, I'm gonna be honest, I don't do TA, and I think my opinion, I want you to correct me if I'm wrong. The reason someone like you can kind of quote unquote get away without doing TA is because you do heavy fundamental. Like you basically work at the company. like once you're invested into something, like for example, Kylie, which we're gonna talk about, like I feel like you're heavy on the fundamental. Would you say that TA is vital? Like this is for people that are kind of just new to this space, like, and they're kind of daunted because they think they've got to do charts. Like talk about that.
Honestly, no, I don't think, in my opinion, how I see it or how I've been seeing it is charts only matter if you're doing day trading, or if you're doing futures and stuff like that. If you're just doing, like, if you're working on fundamentals, the thing about fundamentals is anything that is strong fundamentally, the price action will always follow sooner or later. So so long as you have a strong fundamental project that you see being here for the long term, sorry, I don't think you have anything to worry about, to be honest.
So one of the most common things that people was asking me is like, what your process of, this is literally, I'd say 90% of the questions, bro, here, were like, what is your process of actually looking for a coin? Like, talk us through it step by step. You see something on Twitter, and then what?
So I see something on Twitter, I basically just read through a little summary of what they're doing. If it's interesting, I go to the website. Once I go to the website, I basically read like what is it they're actually trying to do. Like most of them will actually have like a little write up on their website of what they're actually trying to achieve. Then if I'm interested, I'll go to their so Medium is like a place where a lot of these projects do like write ups and stuff like that. So I'd read through all their Medium articles, see just what they're doing in depth, and then I'll try to look and see who they're working with, who the team is, their partnerships, and then the tokenomics, what makes them different from other projects, and then like compare them with other projects in the space and see how well they've done. And then from there, if I'm happy with all that, and then I'll try and see what other people are saying about the project as well, and people who have done well for themselves too on Twitter and stuff like that. So if they're quite bullish on it as well, then it's probably 90% chance that I'm gonna go for it.
So realistically, bro, it's quite a simple process for you. Like it's not. I feel like I was expecting to hear, and I feel like in the whole of Instagram, I expected to hear some mad like elaborate process. Like you seem to just, is this popping? Does it make sense? But no, all right. Just to help them a bit more, when you're looking into that project, obviously I can put a few things in there myself, but I know you elaborate. Partnerships are important. The use case is important. Like the direction of the company. I know you often look into the directors as well, right?
Yeah.
Is there anything in that part that people should be very aware of? Like how important are partnerships, for example, and why are they important?
Yeah, partnerships are very important because partnerships already give that gives confidence. Like that shows that people want to work with the team, you know? Because if teams don't have partnerships, then it's like, well, maybe people don't want to work with them, you know? But like for example, like Kylan had like 20 partnerships or so pre-launch. So that means that already 20 other teams from different projects want to work with Kylan, you know? So that gives once I see partnerships and with good projects as well, that gives me a lot of confidence that a project maybe that I've invested in or maybe not invested in, but I know it's a good project, has partnered with another project.
Got you. And what is a good project to you?
A good project, that's a good question. A good project would be something that actually has like a real world use case and something that they're continuously developing. Maybe like they've been mentioned in different articles. Maybe the team has experience of working in a big firm or company, and then just a project that I see here for the next, maybe like the next bull run or the next two bull runs, stuff like that, you know?
Yeah, got you. And what kind of platforms would you say, like what's Gabriel's platforms like on your phone? What's the main ones that you're on, or whether it be new, whether it be for resources? Obviously, you've mentioned Twitter quite a lot, so I think for those who are sort of new to the space, definitely, I think you're right. Like Twitter is a key space. I found Twitter key, funny enough, when the Dogecoin hype happened, which is sort of what woke me up. And I was able to just keep refreshing and see what was good. Like I did the same. It's funny because I entered the space in a similar way to what you basically do. I had a random follower message me, and I've never even said this. I had a random follower message me. I happened to be awake at a certain time because of the time difference being in Dubai. And he was just like randomly said, buy Dogecoin. So random, bro. I hadn't even spoke about crypto, I don't think. He just literally said, buy Dogecoin, because I was awake. And actually, I'll find the message and put it in the screen, yeah. But he actually even said, I'm literally just telling you because you tweeted. Like, I wasn't talking about crypto, bro. He just randomly messaged me, yeah. Like, big up that guy, whoever he was, by the way, yeah. And he was like, buy Doge, yeah. I was like, why, bro? Like, explain it, yeah. And he was like, bro, I can't explain it, but he's like, it's gonna go up 100% just today, yeah. But he was bare confident, bro. I was thinking, all right, you know what? I don't know, innit? I was awake, like I think I'd woke up for fun, to be honest, yeah. And I thought, all right, cool, boom, let me go for it. So I think I must have put like 225 into Doge, yeah. And I remember getting up to like 7K, like it was about just below 8K. But I remember watching it happen, bro. Like, and in my head I was like, this is mad, like, and then I started searching Doge on Twitter, and I'm seeing everyone else saying Doge, and then the Elon hype started, and then I was just like, this space is crazy, bro. So like from there, I always stay loyal to Twitter. Obviously, I've got the group and Telegrams. What is it that you use? Like, what other platforms do you use to, whether it's the news or whether it's alerts or whether it's to actually trade? What's your go-tos?
So I'd mainly use Binance, CoinMarketCap, CoinGecko, Twitter, what else? Telegram here and there, but because I'm in so many Telegram groups for different projects, I don't go on it too much because my phone goes crazy and it's hard to actually like just render around it.
Yeah.
So yeah, those would probably be the main ones, to be honest. Twitter, I'm literally on 24/7.
Got you.
Yeah.
So now, what's your target, bro? I know you've been speaking about a million recently. Like, what's your target, and by when, and how do you see yourself doing it?
So if the bull run goes for as long as I'm expecting, my target is still a million to 2 million. If it doesn't happen as long as I'm expecting, then 500 to 750. And then once that happens, I'll probably, as I said, like I'm not in a rush. So I don't mind working or getting a job, because I'm doing some work with Stilo. So I was talking to Lash, who's the CEO there, and he said like there could be potentially an opportunity for me there to work full time. So like I wouldn't mind working there for the next 2-3 years, keep my money in crypto and in a stable coin, and then win back in like the next bull run, and then flipping that into like 7-8 million, something like that, and then I wouldn't have to work again after that, you know.
No, bro, I love that, man. Honestly, that part you just said there, I'm really gonna highlight. The reason being is because, bro, man, like the head you've got on your shoulders is so sensible. You could just be like, bro, you could even still mention investments, and I'm gonna buy property and just go, I don't know, like travel the world. And there's nothing wrong with any of these things, but for you to say, bro, you would go back to work is just amazing, bro. And just to also give them their props as well. Stilo, big up Lash as well. They're focused on NFTs, right?
Yeah, NFTs, and basically just trying to build a brand there, like just build a big ass brand. Like there's some big stuff coming soon, so
Yeah.
it's an interesting company, and I think like for a long time it'll do really well.
Yeah. And also just to touch on as well, when we are in a bear market, like, is that to say no money can be made?
Personally, I've never been in a bear market, but from what I've asked people around, they said money is still possible to be made, but it's just not like you can't just have that 2x in a week or something like that, you know? Like it'll probably take a lot longer. Like it's not literally like the way we can make it 2x in like a week or even a couple of days or even a 3x or something like that. Like it's not that easy, but money can still be made though.
Which is kind of what, briefly just touching on what Torre was saying, like what was your generic view on what Torre was saying in the previous conversation we had?
I agree with what he's saying partially, because what he's trying to say is basically wait until we're in a bear market and then buy again, or like when the prices are cheap. But that's not to say that people can't make money, because there's so many new products coming out every day in the DeFi space. So why wait a year just for the market to crash and then buy back when you can literally make as much in the DeFi space and then wait for the crash to happen and then invest all that money back into like after once the crash is over and done with.
Facts. And are you someone who's going to hold on to Bitcoin over the next few years? Like, what's your view on where Bitcoin's going?
Yeah, so my plan would probably be, as I said, like if I only touch 500k or 750k this year or this bull run, then I'll just wait until the market's crashed and then just probably put all that money into Bitcoin. Once like it's kind of levered out, basically.
Yeah, got you. And at the moment, like obviously you mentioned leaving your money in a stable coin. How do you have like a method towards your money management? Like, what's stopping you just going mad, bro? Like, what's stopping you jumping on the jet, traveling the world with your man them, like buying a bag of drip, bust downs, new cars? Like, what's stopping you do that? Because I know even more so your generation than even my age group, it's a massive temptation. Like the other day when we was bantering in the group, me and Daps were saying about like your age group now, like an L is that you can't go to Dubai for the summer. Like, do you know what I mean? Like this is normal. So how are you staying so disciplined, bro? Like how?
For me, it's more so because like honestly, I see so many boys my age that have drip and stuff. Like they don't have money though, but it's like I would rather sacrifice this bull run and the next bull run to not work again for like the rest of my life. Like a lot of those boys, they might use their money on drip now, but then when I'm living in Monaco on my on my yacht or something, like they'll still be working, you know, because they were wasting all that money now. Sometimes you just have to sacrifice for 3-4 years or something like that, and then like for the rest of your life you're set really, and then you can just like you can just sit at home, do crypto when you like I can be maybe I can be like 26, 27, and if my net worth is like 10 million, I can just like I won't be too scared throwing like 400 or 500k into something, and even if that does a 10% rise, that's 50k. That's someone's yearly salary, you know.
Facts. You mentioned like living in Monaco. What are your goals at the moment? Like, what's the you see? You remind me of Abundant on that one, by the way. Shout out Abundant. I know that's his next step. But yeah, what's your goals at the moment? Like, there must be still things that are obviously making you tick aside of just obviously the financial freedom. What's your like maybe more short to medium term goals?
Short to medium term is probably just make as much as I can. Also finish college or finish uni, sorry, and then like I'm not planning to buy anything now. Like probably the next bull run. It depends how much I come out with in this bull run, but if I do come out with a mil or mil plus, probably like get my mom a place or something like that. Just to like, obviously it has to be done, you know. And then like in the next bull run out, my plans are probably I want to buy a property, a penthouse in Rotterdam, because that's where I'm from, and then a place in Dubai and in London as well.
Yeah, man, come over to the UAE side of things, man. Come bring some of that. Come bring some of that good crypto energy over here. You know what I'm saying? All right, cool. So, like to start, sort of concluding, like you've put a challenge in place. This week was obviously starting on April the 14th. 15th. Okay, talk about that a bit. So, what actually spurred you to do that, and what is the structure of it for anyone who does want to join? Can anyone join that?
Yeah, so basically, yeah, anyone can join. Basically, the reason I did it was because I was doing I'm doing a 20 to 100k challenge at the moment, and basically I'm documenting it on Snap, and like it's not something that I told people I was gonna do. I just started documenting it, and then someone popped up to me and they were like, "Oh, would you mind doing a 1 to 10K? Like, because it'll be more reasonable because a lot of people, not too many people, have 20K just to throw at something." And so I was like, yeah, why not? Like, I'll do 1 to 10K because I do have quite a bit of free time as well. Like I know 1 to 10K, it does sound like even though it might sound like it's small, but it's still a 10x. 10x is not something too easy to do.
Do you know what, bro? I'll be honest, man. I think one thing that is very important is that while we are in a bubble financially and in a bubble socially, I think it's important to be aware that there are a lot of people that can still change their situations with £500, with £1,000, and can 10x that money. Whether it is just 5 bills to 5K, you never know what even that can do to someone. It's all about paradigms and perspective. So I think it's very important that we still appreciate that. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think it's still important that we still see that for what it is, because like one thing I was saying to my boy yesterday, like this space can really bamboozle you, man, because I mean, it's great, don't get me wrong, but you can really forget what it was like before this space. Like, all I've been talking about in the last few weeks with people is millions and 100Ks and $500,000, and you see the group, like there's how many millionaires, and do you know what I mean? It's just, and don't get me wrong, it's amazing. Like, at the end of the day, that's the direction. But there's also a lot of people that can benefit, and I realized that when I put out the questions for you today, how many people like are very much just brand new or like starting off with small amounts, and the questions they're asking is just like, someone even said like, how can I start with £500? Like, these are questions people are asking. So I think to sort of answer that, if you have got £1,000, or if not, use the same ratio that Gabriel's done. So if it's like he's doing 10x, could do 5 bills to 5K, like 1 bill to £1,000. Like, it's the same ratio. And I think, is it fair to say that the tactics you're going to use, you could use for £500 as well?
Yeah, it's still gonna be the same.
Thing. So yeah, I think that's important, man. And I think another thing as well, like lastly as well, bro, is you seem to have and understand the importance of network. Like, one thing I loved, and I will say it, is that like I had followed you and whatnot, and then you sort of reached out to me, I reached out to you both at the same time, and you're just like, well, let's get on a call. And I know that I'm not the only person you've done that with, and you said on the call, like, bro, and I had so much respect for this, and I always will. You said on the call, like, bro, look, I've seen part of your journey. If there's anything like I can learn from you, or you can teach me, or you see me, basically you said, if you see me fucking up, like, let me know, like, kind of thing. And we had just met. A lot of people your age who have just made that money would be like, but I'll get this OG out of here, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, bro, we don't care about all of that. We don't care about your throwbacks, B. We lit now, B. Do you know what I'm saying? And I think to have that mentality, obviously, is something I see you in the group. Like, you're very dominant within that group, and everyone has an appreciation towards you, bro. Like, I talk on behalf of everyone anyway. I definitely talk on behalf of myself. Like, you bring a good energy to the group. Like, it's very evident that you're selfless. Like, you're not in there to try and be the man, or you're not. There's not ego that's driving anything you're doing at the moment. If there was, you would be sat next to me right now. You would have flew the private jet to Dubai. we would have been in the penthouse, and we would have been filming. But that's not what you're about. So with the network, and like even like down to like maybe, I don't know, to some extent role models, like how important is that to you at the moment?
Yeah, very important. This is actually something that me and you spoke about, because like I'm actually very lucky to like be in that group first of all, because there's a lot of like wealthy people and stuff like that, so it's like they all have money and they know how to manage their money and stuff like that, like many people would not have this opportunity where maybe they have money, but maybe they might have friends who are, or a network that is not, maybe like they're not all on the same level, so like they won't be able to give them advice. So yeah, I'm really grateful to be in that space with all those people, and like being able to get advice and basically anything, like any help or anything that I need, they're all like able to help out. So yeah, really grateful for that.
Yeah, man. I think it's only right that I wrap it up focused on that, man. Big shout out to Trading Network. Like, me personally, I think exactly what you just said. It's an amazing group. Like, that's something that realistically, as if it was a membership, I'd pay very good money for. Do you get what I mean? Because you not only have the knowledge, you not only have the banter and you bounce with the energy, but you got the access to people. Like, just through that, I've ended up meeting Daps, Arthur, who's my guy, and that we're going on to now do our own projects together. Flomsy as well. Like, obviously I've always known Flomsy, but it's like I've connected with him more. I've brought some of my people into there, even yourself, Gabriel. I've basically taken on an intern to help me pick coins via that group. So there's, Trading Network, like, it's an amazing group. Like, big shout out to Flomsy. Like, I can't give him his flowers enough, because I think what he's doing right now, like, I know for my generation coming up, we never had that shit. So that shit needs to be appreciated. Do you get what I mean? Because he's opening doors for youngins right now, and even down to ISO as well. I know you kind of learned a bit off of ISO as well, so big shout out to ISO as well. But my brother, I appreciate your time. I'm hoping that I've covered like the things that people wanted me to, because otherwise, bro, I'm gonna have daggers in my back, because I'm hoping I covered everything they wanted me to. If there's anything else that they want me to cut, they wanted to cover, I will say, just make sure you bother Gabriel, man. Hit him up in the DMs, man. Like, make that guy see you, B. Like, he'll see you, B. But nah, I appreciate you, my brother, man, and I only wish to see you hit more success, man. I definitely can see you hitting your million this year. Like, it's a privilege to even watch it and witness it, and it's inspired me, bro. Like, it's pushing me on myself. Even your challenge, like, I'm gonna join in the challenge, and it's helping us. It's helping us all, bro. It's lovely to see how humble you are with it as well, because I don't believe, no matter how old you are, you can learn things, especially from the next generation. So, bro, all blessings to you, man, and wish you all the best with everything you are doing, bro.
Thank you, bro. Thank you. Same for you.
My people, make sure you say subscribe, like, and share this. Make sure you engage with us. If you haven't already got Gabriel on Instagram, follow him on Instagram. I can't even, like, Gabriel's got so many, like, different names on different platforms. Like, I don't know. Just find that man, B. If you haven't, follow on Twitter. Make sure you share and subscribe to this channel. Make sure you share this episode as well. Put it on your Twitter. It's also available on iTunes as well as Spotify. My blessings as always. Another great episode. Your boy Trist Taylor, Brand Therapy Podcast. We over and out. B.